Hello everyone, I'm Dinpu Dayaratna, postgraduate student waiting for Master of Information in Technology. Uh, this research effort has been taken to fulfill an assignment related to DevOps subject and for my occupational interest. I'm IT project manager in profession. This research is about a case study on implementing DevOps to product and service innovation in other words research and development team. In here, we are discussing about detailed introduction on DevOps and product and service innovation team, which we are discussing on this paper. Then related research efforts that has been already carried out under literature survey. Then we are discussing on the proposed implementation process, proposed automation architecture, proactive measures taken based on the available knowledge, results, and challenges, and future work under methodology section. Finally, the conclusion and the references. Abstract. As an abstract, DevOps is a software development framework that extends the agile mindset to quickly produce software products and services as to improve operational performance and quality. With high usage of incremental software development methods, DevOps has been applied for product development and operations team. According to the available literature, we have seen a gap on how DevOps can be applied to research and development area. There are significant case studies found for software development related use cases. In here, we have selected a product and service innovation team in one of the largest tech companies in Sri Lanka and implement DevOps practices and presenting the lessons learned. Moving to the introduction, DevOps DevOps is a software development approach which involves continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring and continuous deployment uh, throughout its development life cycle. DevOps is a culture. It's about implementing best practices with help of tools, implementing agility in information. It's about automation, automating infrastructure and workflows, continuously measuring application performance. Security becomes an active and integrated element of the development process when security teams uses a DevOps methodology. DevSecOps is the term for this. We could depict the DevOps life cycle as below in general steps: planning, coding, building, testing, release, deploy, operate, monitor, and monitor. Uh, for planning, we can use Jira and Trello kind of tools. For code-related coding, programming, we can use VS Code, Git or Bitbucket. Then building software, we can use Gradle and Maven kind of tools. Then for testing, we can use Selenium, JUnit, and JMeter. For release management, we can use Jenkins, GitLab, and Bamboo kind of tools. For deployments, we can use Ansible and Chef. For operations, there's no specific tools to monitor. We can use Nagios and Sensu. Moving to introduction of product and service innovation team. Product and service innovation unit has been established inside one of the largest tech companies in Sri Lanka. It is the innovation arm of the company to innovate the new product and services and also support and work with nationwide innovative communities for the betterment of the country. R&D engineers, R&D engineers and solution engineers are working on wide spectrum of technology stack based on their interest and organization goals. They are working on disruptive technologies like robotic process automation, machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, metaverse-based products and services targeting the current market needs, to making concepts to MVP or prototype and them to a go-to-market product, and then its operations support has been supported by a team of software developers. It's kind of an internal development funnel. They are practicing some of the agile ceremonies like daily stand-ups and planning sessions as required, but not fully practicing or adhering to any uh, other framework. We are going to introduce DevOps as a case study for this development and operation teams as evaluate results. Let's move into literature survey. The research done by Mirna and Mario presents a solution to reinforce DevOps after understanding the practical implementation issues when implementing DevOps in organizations. They have represented results of a case study they have tried out in a small scale company to prove their guide supported to implement DevOps, which have clearly mentioned the gaps, better understand the concepts and how to facilitate DevOps. The advice provided in this research paper outlines two ways to begin implementing the DevOps approach within an organization. A DevOps approach within an organization by defining a reinforced DevOps process or by modifying the current process to obtain a reinforced DevOps process. In another qualitative research conducted in 2017 by Erich and Amrit and Devana about the systematic literature review and represented the results of extraordinary exploratory research done across 6 companies of different sizes and fields. They have observed more positive outcome from results than negative experience regarding implementing DevOps. Luciano, in another research conducted in 2021, is making hypotheses on defining the job description for all the roles inside DevOps framework may reduce the time to implement the processes and reduce issues between team members. He has identified some parameters to measure for evaluating the performance of uh, of the DevOps teams as average time for component delivery, release frequency, average recovery time for failure point, KPIs defined by the organizations are some of the key parameters he has used for his research. A case study approach done by Rajavi and Nisha on establishing security in DevOps as a best practice. On establishing security in DevOps, we can also specify it as DevSecOps, another specified version of DevOps. They have identified 3 main attributes which can support effectively to implement security in DevOps. Those are training programs to provide right knowledge to relevant team members, integration of security policies for tools, and preventive measures. Another research effort has been taken by 2016 by Pulasti, Madhusi, and Indika on evaluating the impact of DevOps practices in software development companies in Sri Lanka, increasing quality of delivery has really supported the company since most of the clients resides in overseas, and most of the clients are resides in overseas, and their satisfaction created more revenue in return. In 2019, Yarlagadda Yarlagadda has taken research effort to highlight the uh, gap between DevOps and the software development quality. CAMS in deliberative version community automation measurement and sharing CAMS framework has been named as a vital concept to adapt to DevOps to increase quality of the delivery. Working relationship between development and operations, which is another success factor of establishing DevOps in software companies to increase overall performance of the teams. Heyman, Leonet, Rowe, and Fitzgerald in their research on Agile to DevOps, smart skills and collaboration suggest three milestones between the journey from Agile to DevOps. Agile itself, continuous integration, and yield. They've also proving that team members are improving their soft skills or experience in working DevOps environment. They are more flexible, fast adapting, and highly dynamic teams. In another research done by Agarwal and Rawat on DevOps as a new approach for testing and cloud deployment, they are highlighting that DevOps leads to significant process change in software development. Moving to the methodology, proposed implementation process. Based on the available literature, we have identified that team collaboration and mindset cultural change are key factors to start DevOps implementation. As the implementation process, we have studied the current setup and tried to understand the current processes, tools, and resources. Then we have initiated target group discussions with team members and other stakeholders for their feedback. Based on those steps, then we have proposed methodology of implementation and automation architecture. In parallel, we have started the training and mentoring for team members. Soon after, we have started practically implementing the infrastructure. Then we have started practicing DevOps with automated tools and continuously getting feedback from the teams. Use it for continuous improvement. Proposed DevOps infrastructure setup. CID CD has been the main component of software development lifecycle with so many configurations and tools available. We will use Amazon Web Services AWS as a cloud platform, GitHub for the code repository and versioning control, Jenkins for continuous integration CI, and AWS Cloud Deploy Services for the continuous delivery CD. Since other software development teams in the organization is also using the similar setup, we could get support and training from them and avoid many infrastructure setting up related issues. Moving on to the proactive measures for research success. It was new to apply DevOps in highly dynamic area like research and innovation. As a case study, we have taken proactive measures once in the beginning of the research, and below are some of the key points note. Refer available literature and take feedback from experts to identify the challenges and make proactive measures to overcome them to minimize the risk. Collaborative effort with teams to finalize the infrastructure setup and implementation methodology. Orientational readiness or process level changes are managed by justification in early stages. Minimize knowledge gaps for methodology and infrastructure setup by oriented training. continuous feedback from teams and stakeholders to continuous improvement. Results. We have executed a week-long sprints with initial planning and other agile ceremonies like backlog refinement, daily stand-up meetings, and sprint review and retrospectives. With them and the use right tools, we have built the transparency of the work completed by the teams to other stakeholders. Below is a sample velocity chart exported from the past sprints. As you can observe, we have some estimation issues in the beginning, but team has settled down over time to increase or keeping their average productivity over time. Challenges and future work. We have faced some challenges based on the domain specific facts, which is significant to note in here for future research work. Team is working on body spectrum of technology stacks, which may not compatible to undergo some kind of stack, some kind of automated testing, integration and deployment. We need to explore more on specific scientific areas for best DevOps approach. These R&D teams are collaboratively work with third-party institutions like universities, school laboratories, and other government research agencies. Since they cannot be onboarded to directly to setup, there were some issues in communication and delivery. Even we have received support from experts to set up infrastructure. There were some additional effort required scenarios in implementation. Finally, the conclusion, we have discussed our experience creating novel MVPs and prototypes and go-to-market products and services utilizing cutting-edge methodologies like Agile, DevOps, and cloud computing. In this paper, we have determined that features that Agile web application development and delivery have in common. For those who are not much familiar with the tool stacks and hardware setup issues can be quite frustrating. There may be some issues due to the technology stack users to develop products which may not generally support the overall infrastructure setup. There may be gaps in process changes between stakeholders and third party. Onboarding issues. But as a research effort, proactive measures and result, we could say DevOps implementation in R&D environment have led to more successful direction. Move into the references. These are the main references which I have used for my research, right in the research paper. I would like to show the tools and resources used to make this research work effort a successful one. Related literature survey and related similar work has been identified using the tool called Research Rabbit. It was very helpful to identify similar work and get an overview of the related work. As the research document formatter, I have used Overleaf document formatter with the IEEE research paper format. Finally, I would like to thank Dr. Lakmal Ropasinghe for the subject-related knowledge guidance given for DevOps subject, DevOps domain, and the DevOps team of the Product and Service Innovation Unit, and other all the other stakeholders stakeholders for the support given to make this research effort a successful one. Thank you very much.